Hello, everyone, and happy Wednesday. How are you? I think I'm a little touch sunburned. I did this just now, we're having the most beautiful weather. It had gotten really cold, and today it's 72 and sunny. So, my husband and I were just having a lunch break sitting outside on the front porch in the direct sunlight, and I'm pink now. It's totally worth it, though. it's it's gonna get cold again. So I'm not even sorry. But welcome to our weekly style snack. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm thrilled to be here after 2 weeks away. Last week I was gone. I was doing my seasonal shopping trip for the upcoming classic wardrobe guide. The winter guide is coming soon. Can you even believe it? I know, 72 today, but it's going to be like 30 something in a couple days. So we'll be back to seasonally appropriate weather. And so that's why we weren't together last week. But I'm back and I've missed you. So we've been talking about how to be chic and comfortable, how to marry those two things that we're all ready for after the most bizarre year and a half. We're ready to get out again. We're ready to dress again, but we can't forget how good it felt to live in pajamas for a very long time, and how to get the most of both worlds. So we've already talked about tops, we've talked about bottoms, and today I want to talk to you about comfortable and chic layers, because tis the season to be freezing. And many of us gratefully layer up to keep warm. But layers also add a lot of interest to our outfits. And to keep it comfortable and chic, there are some things to consider when looking for layers. And that's what I want to share with you today. So go ahead, leave any comments and questions you have here, and we will chat at the end. That's always my favorite part. And I do have an announcement at the end that you're going to be super excited about, so you don't want to miss that. So, my very first tip ties into what I was just doing, and that is check the weather. Whenever I leave the house, if you've been around here for a little while, you know I'm obsessed with the weather. I talk about the weather all the time. In fact, I've had people comment and say, I don't really need to hear the weather report from you. And I'm like, well, you're going to hear it anyway because I want to talk about the weather. My husband says I think weather.com is God's own personal website. If it says it, it will happen exactly that way. And part of my obsession with the weather is because I'm so cold all the time. I have Raynaud's, and so I'm always cold. And it's painful. Once that deep cold gets into me, it's really hard for me to recover. And I have just this overwhelming fear of being cold and not being able to get warm again. And if I'm outside of my house, I don't have control over that. So I check the weather about 10 times before I go anywhere. And I talk about the weather to my husband. I'm like, hey, guess what? Today's going to be 72 and sunny, but it's going to rain tomorrow and the temperatures are really going to dip. So my family gets the weather report too. And even though the temperatures had dipped, my 8-year-old has been insisting on wearing short sleeves and thin leggings to school. And she tried to wear shorts. And I'm like, you're not wearing shorts and a t-shirt. Like, the high is going to be 42 today. You have to wear pants. And she usually complains about being cold at school. So I was like, this is weird. Why are you doing this? But she will take a coat, and that's our compromise. She can wear the short sleeve shirt and she can wear leggings or like thin jeans, right? But she has to take a coat. She's totally fine with that. So a couple of weeks ago, I put on a thick sweater and I added a jacket. It was rainy, it was cold, because I was going to go volunteer in her classroom. And as I walked down the hall to her classroom, I wondered why so many kids were in shorts and short sleeves. Here I am in this big, thick sweater and a coat and jeans and rain boots. And I was like, why is everyone dressed like it's summer? Until I walked into her classroom. It was swimsuit weather in there. And then you add a bunch of bodies and the humid climate I live in, and it was a sauna. My jacket came off immediately, but I couldn't shed that sweater without being escorted off the property and probably banned for life for indecent exposure. But I'll be honest, I did consider it. I'm not used to being hot. Like that doesn't usually happen because I'm always so cold. Everybody else gets hot, and I don't usually. And it reminded me of, have you seen Mean Girls? Someone spills coffee on her sweater and she tries to pull it up and the sweater sticks to her t-shirt underneath in front of the whole classroom. That's the teacher. Yeah, that was where I was headed. It was so hot in there, and the other moms were in long sleeve t-shirts and they were like fanning themselves and getting red in the face. All I could do was push up my sleeves and just like mop my brow for an hour and a half. And now I know why my daughter layers, and because she can keep warm with the coat at the bus stop, but then she can peel that coat off once she arrives. And likewise, you don't want to wear something that's not warm enough and freeze. Chattering teeth and blue extremities are not fun, and they're not our best look. But we also have to consider what the temperature is going to be like once we get inside. And while this was an extreme situation, well, I suffered. I suffered. And so think about the weather inside and outside as you're layering, and having these extra options so that you can add on to keep warm and remove them once you get inside. And I'm specifically thinking in the near future when we're going to be having holiday gatherings, possibly cooking during the gatherings. And as cold as I get, I usually wear short sleeves and maybe a cardigan on Thanksgiving because I'm doing a lot of cooking and there are a lot of people around and it is really hot. So check the weather. Does your layer need to be waterproof? There are a shocking number of raincoats out there that are not waterproof. I don't understand it, but there you go. Or does your layer need to be breathable? Is that, waterproof? Is that going to make you hot and overheat? Do you need to be able to ventilate? Do you, so just think about the weather and where you're going. Vests are a great layering option for these kinds of things. It keeps your torso warm without adding extra bulk to your arms, and keeping your torso warm is supposed to keep your extremities warm. That's what I hear. Doesn't work on me, but does on normal people. It's also one that's removable because theoretically you're wearing other clothes under this vest. So my next tip is to make room for more. Get the right size and style so that there is room inside your layer for your other clothes. And keep in mind what those will be. When I buy layers for spring and fall, I'm looking at very different things than I am when I buy layers for winter, because the clothes I wear in the spring and the fall are much thinner. Like this t-shirt, I'm not wearing big, the sweaters I'm wearing are very thin. But in the winter, everything gets bulkier. I'm wearing more of them. Like I might be wearing a button up and a thick sweater that's got to fit into this coat or whatever it is. So will you be layering over a thick, big, or oversized sweater? Are there any other tops underneath that? You need to check that it's roomy without being bulky. And one of my very favorite Christmas traditions is watching A Christmas Story. Do you love this movie as much as I do? Because that's a classic. When his mom wraps him up so tight for walking to school and he can't put his arms down and she's like trying to put him down, and he runs to school like this. I think we've all felt that way a time or two because our outfits were so bulky, and then our clothes were so bulky, and there really isn't room for all of it in there, and you can't put your arms down. So think about what's all, because that's uncomfortable. It also doesn't look good, but mostly it's uncomfortable. So think about what you're going to be layering it with, and will it fit comfortably? With the new technology that we have in fibers, you can get a lot of warmth without the bulk. And, we recently moved back to where I grew up, and it doesn't get as cold here, anywhere near as cold as it does back there, but it's humid here, and that cold, just like the vapor, just goes right through your coat. So this is a coat that's it's my favorite winter coat. It's navy. I have it in black and red, and I had it in a couple of other colors, and it got a little out of control, so I pared it down. But it's a very sleek, very chic coat, but it has thin slit in it, so it's very warm without the added bulk. I mean, I wouldn't wear this skiing. It would be inappropriate for skiing for many reasons. But this is a very warm coat, but I don't feel like the Michelin Man when I wear it, and I can move my arms all I need to. So there are so many great options out there without having to wear something ultra bulky. And it's not just about the body of the coat or the jacket. Some layers are cut to be super narrow and fitted, and more than a thin t-shirt may not comfortably fit in there. So I know a really nice look is to wear a sweater under your blazer, especially when you're working in an office environment and you still have to dress professionally, but it's cold outside. But is your blazer cut to do that? In the armpits, in the armholes, in the arms? It might be cut. It might be, but it might be cut to wear just a very thin sweater. So you may need a different cut of blazer to wear in the wintertime, so there is room for that beautiful sweater that is thicker and warmer and still nice looking. But if it doesn't fit into the armholes and the arms of your blazer, and the blazer is just an example, you're going to look and feel very uncomfortable. So can you get your arms and your outfit into the layer? Can you use your arms in a reasonable range of motion? And I don't mean doing push-ups. I don't mean doing this. We're not doing jumping jacks. We're not working out, but I'm talking about like sitting at your desk. We're going to elevate because you can't see. If I can't wear a jacket to sit at my desk and type because it's uncomfortable, and this is a layer that I intend to wear sitting at my desk and doing that particular motion, then that's not the right layer for me. If you're going to be reaching, and maybe it is doing this, it probably won't be a blazer then, but whatever motion you're going to need to be doing in this layer, you need to consider that. And if you can do that, can you feel your arms once the layer is on with all your clothes, or have you lost all circulation once you put the jacket on over your sweater? Are the armholes big enough for you and your clothes? So this goes for cardigans, coats, jackets. Some of my cardigans can be layered with over thin sweaters or even a little bit thicker sweaters, and some definitely not. So these two cardigans are great examples. This leopard one has roomier, and it doesn't look extra roomy, but it just has, it's a thicker material, so it's not clingy to my arms, and it's just a little roomier through the arms and the armholes. So I can wear a long sleeve t-shirt, I can wear a thin sweater, even a kind of a medium sweater with this cardigan. But this brown one here on the right, it's like second skin on my arms. So to put on a long sleeve t-shirt, I'd have to do the whole cuff grab, pull, and then I would have to arrange the, like, line it all up because it would be clinging and grabbing, you know what I mean? And I've done it, I'm not gonna lie, because sometimes it's worth it, but it is not slipping on easily over anything other than a short sleeve t-shirt. It's definitely not going over a thin sweater. So it really does depend, even with the cardigan, how the overall cut of it is. Next, don't forget to stretch. Let's talk about the obvious option when I'm talking about stretchy material, and that is cardigans. Layering a cardigan over a t-shirt, a button-up, or even another thin sweater is a great way to add interest to your outfit. It's a great way to keep warm as the temperatures drop. It's a great way to keep warm inside. You know, I don't expect everyone else to suffer and be hot just because I'm cold. So we keep the temperature at what normal people would like, and I layer up. And cardigans. That's how I survive indoors. But they're not only that, they're comfortable, they're stretchy, and they can be really cute. They come in every length, material, thickness, weave, and style imaginable. I have finally figured out the cardigans I like, and I went from 0 to 15 cardigans this year. It's kind of ridiculous, but I wear them constantly. They're stashed all over the house because I'm always looking for a cardigan. I keep some here in my office. I mean, I don't intentionally stash them everywhere, but I find them all over the house because I'm always putting one on. I always need one because I'm cold. So if you want something stretchy, is the cardigan the only option? No, it's not. You have a lot of options, a lot of stretchy options that are not cardigans. Even leather can be stretchy. It has to be treated to specifically be that way. When we talked about pants a couple of weeks ago, I shared my undying love of Lycra and how having that added to jeans has changed my life. I think it's changed all of our lives. But it's also being used in items like wool coats, blazers. Those types of items also come with some stretch now. And I'm not talking like yoga pants stretch. We have to be reasonable here. But it has some stretch and some give, and it just allows for comfort and movement in a way that we did not get previously. I mean, wool can naturally have a little bit of stretch, but the Lycra and the spandex give it a little bit more. You're still not going to be doing jumping jacks in your blazer or your overcoat, but it just gives more give and comfort. So look for things that will move with you the way you want to. My favorite denim jacket, I've had it for 17 years. And one of the reasons I love it is because it's so stretchy. I don't feel like I'm in a straight jacket. The next tip is you got to live your life. Yes, we want to look great and be comfortable. And in order to keep our things looking nice, it's important to consider what our lives actually look like. Where are you going to be wearing this layer, and what will you usually be doing when you wear it? Are you likely to get dirty? Does it need to be machine washable? Will it snag easily? So I've had this sleek down jacket Hold on one second. There it is. Sorry, quick technical. Where did it go? It was there and then it went away. There's a reason I'm not in charge of the tech, y'all. Okay, there it is. It opened up like this big for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, no, that was the wrong thing. There it is. So this is a puffer. It's a down jacket. It's a super thin puffer. I have had and worn this forever, and it is comfortable. It's packable in this teeny tiny little bag. I love the fit. It's wipeable if something gets on it. It's water resistant. It keeps me warm. It's rated to probably, it says 32 degrees, but when you've got sweaters and other things on, like I got it on with a sweatshirt there. We were hiking. It's warmer, you can go colder than that. But I love this coat because it works so well in the messy parts of my life, going hiking, being out with my kids, being outside in the elements where I am likely to get dirty, get wet, get, the dog's muddy paws on me. So many different things. So it works perfect. And I love how it looks. So it's a win-win. Anything that has some water resistance or waterproofing is going to be easier to keep clean, because if you get it right away, you can just kind of wipe it off. In general, I'm just talking about like syrup, for example. Not that anyone's ever gotten syrup on my jacket. Yes, they have. And so this exact one actually just wipes right off. So think about the material itself. Will it snag or scratch or pick easily? I mean, we don't usually intentionally rub up against concrete or brick walls, but it does happen. Are you going to be near rough surfaces where you could snag or scratch something? Some cardigans snag really easily because they're so finely woven, and others are more durable. Some leathers are more delicate, and some are they're more durable. The same with wool. A wool tweed or herringbone. A wool tweed coat is going to have more resistance to that kind of thing than something as finely woven as gabardine. So think about that. What about the color? If it's a light color, are you likely to get dirty? Is it going to get stained and ruined? Is it machine washable? Or do you have to dry clean it? And are you okay with that, with what you're going to be doing? Is it easy to put on and take off? Because the point of layers is to be able to shed them. And I have a couple of, I have one cardigan in particular that I love, but the sleeves are really tight. And like when we were on the airplane, I couldn't get it off my arms myself. And so I had to stick my arm out for my husband to pull it off. Thank goodness I wasn't traveling alone. And then I was able to peel it off the other side. But are you likely to be taking it off? And if you are, is it easy to get it on and off? What's appropriate for the occasion? Like, sometimes we need to be dressier, sometimes we need to be casual. And this fur collared cardigan is perfect for dressy up, and my puffer jacket would not be so great with this dress. And wearing this cardigan on a hike with my dog and my kids would also be asking for disaster. So think about how dressy or casual you need to be as you're where you're going and where you're likely to be wearing this. Is it long enough to cover what you need and short enough not to catch or drag on anything? And when it's really, really cold, like a hip length jacket, is that long enough to keep you warm if you're really going to be spending time outside? Or do you want something a little longer that covers at least your tush? And if you live somewhere really, really cold, you might want one of those down coats that comes almost to your ankles because it's freezing and you legitimately need that. So those are things to think about. And now let's talk about our feelings. How your layers feel against your skin can matter a lot. Even when you're bundled up, that material is going to make contact with your skin somewhere. I promise. Is it itchy? Scratchy? Does it shed? I won't wear it if it does. If it's gonna itch me, I can't stand it. And then there's how we feel when we wear it. I love this cardigan. I got it last year. I love the pattern and the colors. And then I wore it. And when you look at it straight on, you're like, that's a really cute cardigan. But every time I looked down at my forearm, it was the abominable snowman. It was very jarring. I would be sitting at my desk typing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's an animal on my desk. No, that's my arm. And sometimes that really bugs me. And other times I think it's funny, but it does affect my emotions. If I'm not in the mood to be startled, I cannot wear this cardigan. Does it make you feel attractive? Does it make you feel, does it make you feel the way you want it to feel? And then finally, add your twist to it. I am all about function first in everything. As much as I love style and design and all that, if it doesn't function, I have no use for it. But that doesn't mean we have to sacrifice fashion. Anything that looks fabulous will automatically feel more fabulous. When it's so you will reach for it over and over and over and over again. So look for the details that make it perfect for you and make sure it has the function, which we've already talked about. But now let's talk about making it you. Is it a color that you love? Do you love the certain pattern? Are those buttons just too gorgeous to ignore? Do you love zippers on it? Are there specific materials that make it just so you? Think about those kind of details. And this jacket, you've seen, oh my gosh, like, I want to drink it. This jacket is so gorgeous. I can't even get over it. Oh my word. It has all the function. It's not one I would ever sit at my desk in and type because it's not stretchy and that's not comfortable, right? It's not meant to do that. But this is a jacket I look for every excuse to wear. In fact, when it arrived, it was still 80 degrees outside, and so I just wore it around my house, inside my house, because I just wanted to wear it. It's so pretty. But it makes my heart sing when I wear it. So I hope this was helpful, as we're definitely well into layering season and just thinking about all the things that will make that layer wearable for you. And I'm so glad you were able to join me for this style snack. I'll be talking about more of the parts of a wardrobe and how to make them comfortable and chic next week. And I hope you'll join me for that. So for the announcement, I know if you're on my email list, you should have gotten an email announcing it, and we have published it on social media. But in case you missed it, the Shop Your Closet Challenge starts tomorrow. And if you haven't ever participated in one of these Shop Your Closet challenges, they are so much fun. I give you an outfit a day for inspiration. You go to your closet and find similar elements and make the outfit yours. Mix it up any way you want to. Flip it upside down, turn it inside out, substitute colors and patterns, whatever you want to do. This is so much fun. And I will take the hassle of picking an outfit every day for you for the next, I think it's 6 days. So the first, and it's free to join, totally free. The first outfit is being shared today in about 30 minutes. So here's how it works. You register for the challenge at stunningstyle.com/challenge, and someone from my team will add the link here in the comments to get registered. Then you join my free Facebook group, Capsule Wardrobes for Classic Style, and when you register, you'll get all the instructions, but we'll add that here too. And I will share a new inspiration outfit every day at 2 p.m. Eastern time in the Facebook group for you to be able to shop your closet and make it your own. This is the outfit to wear the next day, and we share it early in the day so that you have time to do this and have fun with it, and it's not a scramble in the morning because nobody wants to do that at 6 a.m. And we share it this early for our friends in the European Union, so they have time to get it for tomorrow too. So Mr. Stunning, who is in charge of all the tech, that's why I'm not, has made a new option that you can, when you register for the challenge, you can now opt in for the daily challenge outfits to be emailed to you. So you have that option this time as well. Because, we're not in charge of the Facebook algorithm. We can't control what they show you in your feed. And sometimes they decide what shows up in your feed. And I can't even find my own stuff. Sometimes anyway, you can get it emailed to you. Then if you want to, you share your outfits in the Facebook group. And every day that you post your outfit in the group, you're entered to win a $100 gift card to Kendra Scott. This isn't sponsored. I buy these gift cards with my own money. I love her jewelry, and I love that there's something for everyone there. You can get customized things. I love the quality. Anybody can find something they love there. And then you get an entry for sharing your outfit in the group, and use the hashtag SYC Winter 2021. SYC stands for Shop Your Closet. And that's how we find the entries. So the challenge takes place starting tomorrow on November 11th, and it goes through Tuesday, November 16th. The winner will be announced November 17th at 1 p.m. Eastern time in a special Facebook Live. So be sure and register to be eligible to participate and to win. And in order for your entry to count, you have to include the hashtag, because there's just no way we can track it because there's just so many posts. That's the only way we can track it. This is so much fun. You do not want to miss this. Every time we do this, you're going to be so inspired by how all the women make these outfits their own. It's so much fun. So I hope you'll join me. And excuse me. So if you have any questions about that, you can post them here. And let's take a quick look at the comments. Janice says, "Hi, April. Happy to be here. I do check the weather every day." Hi, Janice. I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad I'm not the only one obsessed with the weather. I really am. I always have been. It's really important. To me it is. Amy says, "I don't understand non-waterproof raincoats either." Yeah. Well, so you've got the obvious slickers, right? That's just pure vinyl, but those get hot because there's no breathability, right? But to make a woven garment waterproof is just much more expensive and time consuming. And I'm guessing they're just trying to stay in their price point. I don't know. I've never manufactured clothes, but I'm going to guess it has to do with cost. But yeah, that's kind of the point, is to keep me dry. So don't call it a raincoat if it's not going to keep me dry. Deborah says, good tip. I have found that almost all of my sweaters were bulky, which I love, but that I needed thinner sweaters if I wanted to layer them, for example, under a blazer. Yeah, or just get a different blazer, a different cut of blazer that has, you know, more room in the armholes and just wider arms. It really does make a difference, because that's a beautiful wintertime professional look, or even a casual look if you pair it with jeans, but they've got to fit together, right? Cherry says, lightweight puffer jacket in the style guide. In the style guide, which one? If not, can you give brand information? So this one, I got it at Costco years ago. I've never put it in the guide before, mostly because they're sold out. By the time the winter guide comes out, they fly off the shelves. And we may be able to put one in, if I can find a good one, I'll put it in the shopping portal for the winter guide. I did say Cherry, didn't I? I didn't call you Cherie. I've told you before, my sister-in-law's Cherie, and she spells her name that exact same way. I hope I said Cherry. I know it's Cherry, but sometimes it's that slip of the tongue. Cindy says, I recently moved from the mountains to Central Florida. I don't know if I will ever wear thick sweaters here. My spring, fall sweaters and cardigans will probably be my new winter wear. Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, we didn't move to Florida. We were in Tennessee, but even still, I'm looking at my coats because I love outerwear. And one of the benefits of living in Salt Lake was I had plenty of opportunities to wear them and accumulate them. But a lot of them are just likely too warm for here, and some of my sweaters too. So, I mean, you have the odd cold, really cold spell here. And so I'm going to give it maybe another winter or two before I decide what to purge. But there were several sweaters and coats last year I never wore because it just wasn't cold enough. But that's a great winter. I've never wintered in Florida. Let's just be honest about that. But I know people who do. And from what I hear, long sleeve t-shirts and those thinner sweaters plus a cardigan, or short sleeve t-shirts and a cardigan. That sounds like a great plan. Someone else says, should your dress or skirt fall below your dress coat? Technically, your coat is supposed to be longer than your dress. However, I don't get too wrapped up in that myself. If you're really into if you really want to, you can do whatever you want. That is technically the rule. Sometimes I follow that, sometimes I don't. I only have one, and now accidentally two. I bought something on Poshmark that ended up being there's something in my hair, a lot longer than I thought it would be. And so now I have two coats that are long enough to cover my dresses and skirts. I think that's a little flower petal from when we were sitting outside. It was raining flower petals off the dying flowers. So I usually don't follow that rule because I have like that navy coat that I showed you. It is hands down my winter coat. It's just so chic. And I can dress it up, I can dress it down. And it looks just because of the angle of the camera, it looks a little longer here than it actually is because it's away from my body, but it actually it's above my knee. And most of my dresses and skirts come at least to the top of my, well, all of them come at least to the top of my knee, and then anywhere below that. And this coat is just a little shorter than probably all of them. So, but it's such a chic coat, and it's so great for dressing up or down that I wear these coats with my nice dresses and stuff. I have a longer dress coat, but it's not as warm as this. And this is super warm, which was so important when we lived where it was really, really cold. So I don't get too caught up in that rule, but since you asked, that's technically what you're supposed to do. Someone asks, do we post our outfits to the Stunning Style group or the Capsule Wardrobe group? That's a great question. They have to go in the Capsule Wardrobe group. It's just, it's a lot of work to track the outfits as it is, and we can't do it across multiple groups. It has to be in the Capsule Wardrobes for Classic Style group. And there will be a lot of people requesting to join the group with this challenge. So, and we have to vet each request. We're careful about who we let into the group, only because we're avoiding scammers with fake profiles who join groups and then just start spamming people or private messaging people, scammy stuff. And so that's the point of this. And so please be patient as we let people in. It just takes time. There are, I think, 3 questions you have to answer to join the group. If you don't answer those questions, we're just going to skip over your request because we don't have time to figure it out. There's just so many requests. We just can't do that. And so please be patient. It does take, and plus we try to work during normal business hours, right? We have families and lives and responsibilities, and we sleep and all that. So please be patient while we're letting people into the group. Please answer all 3 questions, or we're just going to skip over your request because we can't do all that. And we'll get you in as soon as possible because we want everyone to be able to participate. So thank you I can't see who asked that question, but I'm glad you asked about which group to post it. And it has to be in the Capsule Wardrobes group. I don't see any other questions about the challenge. Again, you can go to stunningstyle.com/challenge to register. And then you will also have the option of having the outfits emailed to you. You'll also be able to find them in the Capsule Wardrobes for Classic Style Facebook group. The outfits will be released at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and you'll get 1 entry each day that you share your outfits. You have to tag it. These instructions you'll get all these instructions when you register as well. Tag it with the hashtag SYC Winter 2021, and you'll be entered to win a gift card giveaway. You'll get your first outfit today, and we're wearing it tomorrow. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you'll join us, and just let me pick your outfit this week. It's going to be fun. All right, I don't see any other questions, so I'm going to let you go enjoy your Wednesday. I am going to go sit on the porch for just a few minutes before I get back to work on the winter guide. It's currently underway, and I'm going to check the porch for more packages because it's about the time they come. Oh, Debbie, now I can see your name. Before it says it is Debbie who asked about where to post the outfits. On the first one, it just said Facebook user, but this time it has your name and I can see your face. I love your face, Debbie. Thanks for commenting and for asking that question. It was really helpful, and I'm glad I got to see your face. All right, that's all I see. I will talk to you next week, and I will be seeing you in the group and loving your version of these Shop Your Closet Challenge outfits. join me again next week. I think we're going to be having some bonus lives next week. So we'll put out a schedule for those. And I will definitely see you next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, but I'll probably see you before that. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday and a wonderful rest of your week.